Apparently, I can't tie a tie. That's why our analyst Ryan Kroger's here. You know what I also can't do? Detail the college football 12-team playoff. That's why our analyst Joe Palacic is here.
Well, listen, the Kansas City Chiefs, all they do is win games. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they have 16 straight one-possession games. Well, I don't know why you two aren't excited, because I'm excited because Arch Manning is going to win the Heisman. He's the most talented quarterback in the last 5 years that we've seen. I know we got Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, other guys. Arch Manning is a dual-threat quarterback. He could do it all. Laugh all you want. Now, Syracuse, their season's been abysmal, disappointment, unacceptable. So many adjectives to describe how bad of a season it's been. It's the worst since the 1969-1970 season. My dad wasn't even born. Not to mention his four other. Listen, you guys can laugh all you want. Arch Manning, the skill he has and the maturity of his level, he could lead this Texas team to a national championship. 11 goals on the year for the grad student from the Netherlands and 7 game-winning goals. Guys, just to put that into perspective, if she had her own stat line, that would put her second in total goals on the team.
We had some highs, Joel. We had some lows, but we had one. Jalen Milroe. What a game between Georgia and Alabama.
Well, Jameis Winston did, in fact, eat a W against one of the best teams in the league in the Baltimore Ravens.
Then 11 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Michael Leo buries it, eyes in the back of his head. Yeah, my hands are on my head too.
Well, head-scratching pick. See what I did there? DK Metcalf going to the Steelers.
He's like the Saquon Barkley on offense and the Max Crosby on defense. This guy does not come off the field.
So I was thinking, was I going to go Drew Aller? No, because it's not really a favorite, but he's an underdog in Ryan Croke's eyes. Well, you two are clearly getting cold for Christmas because Ole Miss is on the nice list.
Speaking of lacrosse, the men's team was in action in the Crown City on Saturday. Syracuse took on second-ranked Johns Hopkins after losing to fourth-ranked Maryland and fifth-ranked Army in overtime earlier this season. The Orange were determined to record a win against a top-5 team, and it started with the defense, a low-scoring affair early in this one. The Qs scored in the first 87 seconds of the game. A backhand goal, Christian Muley put Syracuse on the board first, but the Blue Jays responded. Jimmy Ayers, a 360, more of a 180 goal to get Johns Hopkins into the box score. And then for the Orange, Joey Spallina. He's been great all season. We've been talking about his roller coaster season against top-5 opponents. And speaking of roller coasters, the shots for both sides were up and down in the first 2 quarters. But the Blue Jays escaped the half with a 4-3 lead off of Garrick Dignan's second score of the game. At the half, Johns Hopkins led by 1. The offenses for both sides ramped up in the second half. Another one for Joey Spallina. Owen Hiltz, as you see there, replicated that same exact stat line. What a rip right there, bottom corner for the senior. And then 11 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Michael Leo buries it, eyes in the back of his head. Yeah, my hands are on my head too. Into the fourth quarter, Syracuse leads by 4, but Johns Hopkins won't go away. There's Hunter Juronsky falling down and giving the Blue Jays more life. More momentum as Garrick Dignan, a huge swing for another one. 9 seconds later, Jake Stevens nets it for the Orange. He scored a couple of goals late to give the Orange a little bit of a cushion, but Dignan, again, his 5th goal of the game for a new season high. He was the heart and soul of the team in this one. But in the fourth, as time winds down, Johns Hopkins, they need to clear the ball if they want to have a chance, but it goes out of bounds. Syracuse pulls off the upset. They eke out a 14-13 victory. That's a similar score to their 13-12 victory in the 1989 National Championship game against this very team. Paul Gate was the hero.
When you lose T. Higgins, it's definitely not going to increase your chances. I have Jaden Daniels, one of the MVP lists, and a lot of people think he's going to have a sophomore slump. His stats, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns. I know he had 800-plus on the ground. This is the team with the third most cap, over $80 million to get him bigger weapons, and Jaden Daniels is one of those quarterbacks who's calm. He's composed. He knows his reads. And when you have guys like Alameda Zacchaeus and De'Ami Brown going off in the playoffs and coming up in big games in the regular season, that's how you know that a quarterback is mature and not really clinging to his wide receiver one in Terry McLaurin. Listen, the Commanders, they went far, and I think they'll go far again next season. On the courts, Syracuse men's basketball faced North Carolina on Saturday. It's been a down year for both teams who have underperformed this season. The Cuse was a game and a half away from falling out of the ACC tournament. Meanwhile, UNC was fighting for a bid to the NCAA tournament. Which team gave itself a boost over the weekend? Let's head out to the Dome to see how this one turned out. Immediate defensive pressure from the UNC Tar Heels. Ian Jackson, the freshman, the steal there, then he scoops it up, and then the slam for a 10-8 UNC lead. But the Orange, they kept it close in the first half. That layup by Peter Majstorovic made it a 15-14 UNC lead. But Ian Jackson was once again too much for Syracuse. He hits the three there, then I step back. He was 4 from 6 from downtown in the first half. Jackson wasn't the only one on fire from deep range. There's R.J. Davis, the senior veteran, gets the lucky bounce for the three-point bucket. UNC shot 7 of 15 from 3 en route to an 8-point lead at the break. In the second half, though, J.J. Starley, he came alive, a tough and one there. Only 2 points in the first half. He had 20 in the second. Just under 10 minutes to go now. Eddie Lampkin in the paint. He's been there all season. Flushes that one down to tie the game at 62. His 11th double-double of the season. But you know, a program like North Carolina is going to have multiple scorers. Jackson 23, Davis 19. How about Jalen Withers with 19 of his own? 14 in the second half. He was a dog for the Tar Heels. I mean, look at this tough and one from him right there. But J.J. Starling had something to say to Withers. Cookies, give me that. He finishes the tough and one. The junior, 20 points in the second half. He had 22 on the day. Now 40 seconds to go in the game. A 2-point lead for UNC. Elliot Cadeau blows by Jaquan Carlos to seal it for the Tar Heels. A 6-point victory for North Carolina. The Cuse Lewis allowed 88 points, the third straight game, giving up 80 or more points. And I mean, Syracuse defense just unacceptable and abysmal this season. 13 threes allowed, nearly 50% shooting from the Tar Heels from beyond the arc.
In sports, the players who score the most usually get all the attention. Joey Spallina, Daisha Fair, J.J. Starling, you get the point. But for Syracuse women's ice hockey, the attention was on someone else. The Orange took on RIT in a doubleheader, and let's just say the goalie might be the most important position in all of sports. On Friday, Syracuse fell to RIT 1-0 on the lone goal from Jordan Bear. For the Orange, goaltender Ali Kelly was the team's rock. The graduate student racked up 26 saves and recorded a .963 save percentage. The Syracuse defense also came to play in Game 1, blocking 24 shots. Forward Tatum White blocked a career-high 6 shots, and she won a game-high 14 faceoffs. An already horrific conference record you see there, only 3 wins on the season. Could the Orange split the series? Well, there's your answer right there. In Game 2 on Saturday, the Syracuse offense came to play. A 3-0 victory over the Tigers. Forward Charlotte Hallett scored the game-winning goal with 24 seconds remaining in the second period. The Cuse finished the job with 2 empty net goals late in the third, and Kelly was impressive once again for the Orange, recording 33 saves and a shutout in her 100th career collegiate game. The Cuse's defense also showed up once again, blocking 16 shots for a total of 40 in the series. That increases their season total to 439, and that ranks 4th in Syracuse history.
It was Wizarding night here at Upstate Medical Arena. But for the Syracuse Crunch, they had no magic to show for it in their 4-3 overtime loss to the Rochester Americans. Syracuse outshot its opponent for the 4th straight game, but despite that, they came away with the loss. And over the last 3 weeks, the Orange have outshot their opponents by nearly 20 shots per game and are 1-5 in that stretch. After the game, head coach Joel Bouchard discussed his team's missed opportunities in quantity shots over quality shots. Well, Ailey, Syracuse men's basketball is on the verge of missing the ACC tournament. The Orange hold the final spot in the ACC tournament, the 15th seed, and, well, they take on NC State, who's the first team out of the ACC tournament. Now, not every team will make it this year. It's not going to be a gimme automatic bid because of conference realignment. You've got West Coast teams in Stanford, Cal, you got SMU and Texas coming to the ACC tournament. So Syracuse and NC State, it's going to be a crucial game. And what I'm looking out for tonight is Syracuse men's basketball's defense. They're going to have to put together a complete showing if they want to come away with a win. Syracuse's defense, well, it's been an utter disappointment. They've collapsed over the last 5 games. They've given up 80 or more points for the 5th straight game and have allowed 4 of their last 5 opponents to shoot over 48%. During that time, their Syracuse is 1-4. On the other side, though, NC State, one of the worst offenses in the conference. They average below 70 points per game, which is 3rd lowest, and also shoot under 43% from the field. That's 2nd lowest in the ACC. Now, if the Orange were to lose tonight, they would be in position to miss the ACC tournament. Now, someone to watch out for in Orange is center Eddie Lampkin. The Colorado transfer and graduate student leads Syracuse in rebounds. He's averaging over 9 per game. And prior to the game against Pitt, he had back-to-back triple-double doubles. That's 3 straight games for him. He's had 11 all season. So not only look for him to be in the paint, but also on the offensive and defensive boards. Now Syracuse, their season's been abysmal, disappointment, unacceptable. So many adjectives to describe how bad of a season it's been. It's the worst since the 1969-1970 season. My dad wasn't even born. Despite its struggles, Syracuse has a chance to rebound when it takes on Utica next. The Comets have been outshot over their last 4 games. Puck drop for that one is this Friday at 7. But for now, reporting from Upstate Medical Arena, Jake Bowen, Citrus TV.